The logical part of my brain agrees that I do not need new books. This is my physical TBR. Whenever I ask people to guess how many books are in here, they guess underwhelmingly low. About a 50 I usually hear. It is 160. Now, most of those books, pretty much all of them, are secondhand and thrifted, but it's still way too many for me to own. So I tell myself no new books. And if I get this from 160 to a 50, I get to have a library card. So there is motivation for me to finish this. But then there's my husband who decided he wants to collect records and get a record player. And so he said, let's go to the thrift store. I can find some. Records used to be popular. So I come with him and they just start calling to me. There's books there. I have to take a look. Who am I not to take a look? I found 4 amazing books. Okay, the first one technically doesn't count. I got this at the secondhand bookstore and it's a little bit more expensive than the other one. For this one I paid €8.50. It is Fire from Heaven by Mary Renault. The only book that I've read from her is this one, which is part 2 in a series, and it is still one of the best books that I've ever read. Like, the level a book has to be on for part 2, just no context, falling into part 2. I read it by accident. About halfway I found out it was part 2 and then it was too late. I was sold. So ever since then, I have been collecting Mary Renault books. My random TBR jar has not been so kind to me to allow me to read any other Mary Renaults. I have been collecting a bunch of them. So this is not part of the haul, I just want to show. I've got The Charioteer, which has the best flop I've ever seen. Then we've got The Last of the Wine, The Praise Singer, The King Must Die, which is part 1 to The Bull from the Sea, and The Mask of Apollo, which I found the other day. And then I saw this one, which is the prettiest edition ever. It is so nice. So I just had to get that because I already know that I'm going to love everything that this author writes. So I don't mind if I find it, I buy it. So I'm not very good at my own rules. Then at the thrift store itself, I found these 3. The first one, which I'm so excited about, this one felt like winning the lottery. This one has been so popular and obviously I don't really buy any new books, so I miss out on a lot of the books that are really popular. I just have to wait a couple of years and then they'll start showing up secondhand. And this one did. I'm really excited about this. The ratings on Goodreads are so high. I just know I'm going to love this. I was really happy when I found this for a whopping €160. It just feels so lucky. It's like 100 times more fun to find a book that you wanted to read thrifting than just buying it in the store. Then the second book is Under the Whispering Door. This is not my usual cup of tea, but I read this Brilliant Sea and that is just so cute. I read the back of this and I was sold. It sounds very cute. It's about a man who, it's very much like this Brilliant Sea. It's about this man who just spends his whole life working at his office and not really living life, and then he dies and goes to the afterlife and he has to cross over, but he has about a week and he starts living life that week, finding family. It sounds very cute, very this Brilliant Sea-esque, so I thought I was going to love this. Paid €2. And then I just can't convince myself not to take it. You know, I have way too many in here, but why not take it if you know you're going to love it? Every day I find myself. And then the fourth one is The Dawn of Everything, A New History of Humanity. Also paid €2. I looked this up. I didn't know this one. I looked it up in the store. It has incredibly good ratings. I always trust Penguin and I'm very excited to read this one. I think it's going to take a while for me to read it. It's about 526 pages. That is manageable. It's about the first cities, ice ages. It sounds fascinating. I love human history, very, very old human history. I think it's very interesting. So I think I'm going to enjoy this one big time. So very different types of books. I'm very happy with all of them. Like these all feel like they're amazing finds. And like I said, it just feels so good to find these little treasures at the thrift store. It's so much more fun. So that was a quick little video. I just wanted to talk about these books before adding them in here. I already wrote them down right here, so I can just add them in. I will just put them somewhere random, not on top. I'll just shove them in here. Some goes to the side. And then mix it up. And that's that. I hope I get to read them soon, but that's with all the books I get. I hope I get to read everything I own soon. So I just have to read. This is what I'm currently on so far, and it's a little bit dry, but there just have to be a lot of names, locations, and events have to be introduced before I can get to the good stuff. So I think this will turn out good, but right now it's a little bit dry. I'm not really speeding through it. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to quickly show the books that I got because I'm very excited about them, and I think you guys also like a good thrift. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.